It's okay to treat yourself sometimes. Look, I know that personal finance loves to harp on getting a cup of coffee. If a cup of coffee is what does it for you, then get yourself a cup of coffee. The occasional coffee is not going to ruin your finances, because the daily coffee, skipping it, is not going to make you rich. What's going to make you rich is changing your mindset about money and making more money and keeping more money. That's what's going to make you rich. Getting a coffee now and then is not going to make or break your budget. See, the real issue is mindless spending. The real issue is that if every single day I got myself a bagel and a cup of coffee, that is the real issue. If I just made it a habit of doing that every single day, I would wind up spending a lot of money. And it would be mindless spending because I got into the habit of doing that. So a lot of times we can just make changes to our habits that actually wind up keeping more money in our bank account. Back to the coffee thing, I had gotten into that habit where I would get something on the way into work in the morning, and then I would go get lunch, and I would probably pick up dinner on the way home. And I got into the habit of spending money on breakfast, spending money on lunch, and picking up something for dinner. And that meant that I was spending a lot more money than I really should have, because if I had done some planning and some budgeting, then I would have been spending so much money eating out. And I would have been able to save myself a lot more money, which means I would be able to put more money into my retirement account. So it's all kind of a balance. You don't want to cut yourself off completely from having any fun, like today getting the car repaired and treating myself to a coffee and a bagel. But at the same time, if I did a coffee and a bagel every day, this came to $8.50, which is a ridiculous amount of money, but it came to $8.50. So every day, $8.50 times 5 days is $42.50 over the course of a week. On bagels and coffee, which is a crazy amount. I could buy a bag of bagels for about $3, $5. I could buy a block of cream cheese for about $3, and I could buy cold coffee, and I could buy some type of cold coffee or espresso for maybe $10 for an entire bag. In fact, I actually switched my coffee habit from getting a coffee while I was out to buying the cold coffee already prepared. But even that was getting kind of expensive, because it went from like $3.99 for a container of it for like about a half gallon to $4.99 to $5.99 to $6.99, and that just seems like a lot to pay. So I was actually able to find some freeze-dried espresso, and that only cost me, I think, $4.99, and it lasts me over a week, and it cost $4.99. So for roughly about $20, I'm able to still get myself a blueberry bagel with cream cheese and a cold coffee. And the difference in the money, then I am able to use that money for something else, like paying other bills off, paying debt off, or setting money into a sinking fund. So if it's in your budget to be able to get yourself a coffee every morning, then get yourself a coffee every morning. But if you're looking at making modifications to your budget and you're looking at saving money, then look at small incremental ways that you could save money every day by looking at your habits and changing what habits maybe aren't serving you anymore. The key is being mindful about your spending and what you're spending your money on. Is it something that is serving you, or is it just simply a habit that you've gotten into? Because if it's not serving you, then you really should cut it out.